This is the S-500 Prometey, the system Russia says can kill a stealth fighter before it even knows it's being watched. It's the most advanced air and missile defense system Russia has ever built. On paper, it can track targets 600 kilometers away. It can strike targets flying 200 kilometers up Funro, deep into near space. And Russian officials claim it can detect and destroy America's most advanced stealth aircraft, the F-22 and the F-35. If true, that would make it one of the most significant defense systems in the world. But how much of that is real, tablet? And how much is marketing? To answer that, we have to go back to where the S-500 program actually began. Because this system has been in development for nearly 2 decades. And its story starts with a gap Russia knew it had to close. Before the S-500 became a symbol of advanced air defense, its story began decades earlier.
By the early 2000s, Russia's air defenses were built around the S-300 and S-400, powerful, but aging.
Those systems could stop aircraft and cruise missiles. But a new threat was emerging: hypersonic glide vehicles, long-range ballistic missiles, even satellites in low orbit. None of Russia's existing systems were designed to reach that high or move that fast. So in the early 2000s, design bureau Almaz-Antey began work on something new. The goal: a single system that could handle both air defense and missile defense for Ukraine at strategic range. It was meant to complement the S-400, not replace it, filling the gap between battlefield defense and strategic defense. Development was ambitious from the start, originally slated for service in the early 2010s. But that timeline slipped again and again. Component shortages, technical hurdles, and the sheer complexity of the system pushed deliveries back by years. In 2021, Russia signed a contract for its first batch of 10 S-500 systems. Delivery was promised for the following year. By 2024, Almaz-Antey confirmed state trials had been underway since 2020, with full serial production still pending. It was a system defined as much by delay as by ambition. Before the S-500 became a symbol of advanced air defense, its story began decades earlier. So what exactly is the S-500 built to do? This radar can detect targets at ranges of up to 600 kilometers.
That's roughly the distance from London to Geneva, Binhomi, detected from a single vehicle.
Its interceptor missiles are designed to reach targets at altitudes of up to 200 kilometers. That's high enough to reach the edge of space, Pinkweight, where satellites in low orbit operate.
The system uses multiple missile types, each built for a different kind of target. Some are optimized for aircraft and cruise missiles, others for ballistic missile interception. And a newer variant is designed specifically to counter hypersonic glide vehicles. This multi-layered approach is what separates the S-500 from earlier systems.
The S-400 could handle aircraft and cruise missiles. The S-500 is meant to handle almost everything above that.
Which brings us to its most talked about claim: the ability to detect stealth aircraft.
Russian officials say the radar can use multiple frequencies and advanced signal processing to track low observable aircraft.
In theory, that would reduce the effectiveness of aircraft like the F-22 and F-35, jets built specifically to avoid radar detection.
It's an aggressive claim, Plode, and one worth putting in context.
Because detecting a stealth aircraft on radar is very different from actually shooting it down.
Stealth aircraft aren't invisible. They're designed to return a much smaller radar signature.
Longer wavelength radars, like parts of the S-500's array, can sometimes get a rough detection on stealth aircraft. But a rough detection isn't the same as a weapons-grade targeting lock. That distinction is at the center of the debate over what the S-500 can actually do.
Then came the real test: Heute, deployment, and combat reality.
By December 2025, Russia announced its first S-500 regiment had officially entered combat duty.
Defense Minister Andrei Belosov called it a unique system, capable of striking targets in near space.
But officials disclosed almost no additional technical or operational details.
And that secrecy has made independent verification difficult.
Which is why the system's actual combat performance matters so much.
Reports indicate Russia deployed S-500 components to Crimea to help defend key infrastructure, including the Kerch Bridge.
According to open-source reports, when American-made ATACMS missiles targeted the area, the system failed to intercept them.
In August 2025, Ukrainian drone operators struck and damaged an S-500 associated radar system in Crimea.
Open-source investigators identified it as a 98L6 Yenisei radar, Raven, a key sensor for the S-500 system.
It was a reminder that even advanced radar networks remain vulnerable to modern drone warfare. These incidents don't necessarily disprove the S-500's design, but they do complicate its marketing.
That means most of Russia's air defense network still relies on the older S-400.
The S-500 remains, for now, a strategic capstone system, the pivot, not a widespread shield.
Which raises the question, why are other countries still interested in buying it?
Military analysts note that serial production delays have kept the system as a low-volume, high-priority asset, not a mass-fielded one.
But the S-500's real significance extends far beyond the battlefield.
India has been in formal talks to procure the S-500 as part of its broader air defense modernization. India already operates the older S-400 and has continued expanding that arsenal even while S-500 talks proceed.
For countries facing advanced regional threats, even an unproven strategic system can be a meaningful deterrent on paper.
So how does the S-500 compare to Western systems built for the same job?
The U.S. ground-based mid-course defense system is designed to intercept intercontinental ballistic missiles in their terminal phase. Until recently, that terminal phase ICBM intercept capability was unique to the US and Russia's older A-135 system.
The S-500 is designed to bring that same capability into a single, more mobile package.
Mobility is one of its biggest theoretical advantages. Fixed systems like GMD can't relocate. The S-500, in theory, can. But mobility also means less protection force. And, as we've seen, greater exposure to drone strikes. In August 2025, China unveiled its own rival system, the HQ-29, ending the S-500's status as a wholly unique class of weapon.
The race for next-generation strategic air defense is no longer a two-country contest.
Which brings us back to the core question.
In the end, the S-500 is more than a missile defense system.
The KOF. It's a statement of strategic ambition. Is the S-500 really the stealth-killing, near-space shield Russia claims it to be?
The honest answer is partly proven, partly promised.
Its radar and interceptor range are real engineering achievements. Its stealth-killing and hypersonic defense claims remain largely unverified in combat. What is certain is that the S-500 represents where the next era of air and missile defense is heading. Mobile. Whether it lives up to the hype will depend on what happens the next time it's tested for real. If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe to TechForge for more deep dives into the world's most advanced defense systems, and let us know in the comments what system we should cover next.